All right, real quick. Later in this video, I talk about this peaceful gathering to let Blizzard know that this type of thing is unacceptable. They talked about raising funds to get mini Hong Kong flags, all sorts of things to go and show up at BlizzCon. And I talk about, you'll see, I talk about backing it. They needed $3,000. I backed it. Let's get into this video. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy from the Quartering, and there's some new updates. Some groups organizing to make BlizzCon a very uncomfortable spot for Blizzard. But I want to start off by clarifying where my stance is on the Blizzard Hearthstone Blitzchung situation, because it's complex. It's a complex issue, because it's also kind of leading to a bit of conflict internally. If you follow this channel long, you know my stance has always been to keep politics out of video games. What Blitzchung said is something I agree with. Blizzard punishing him for that is something I don't agree with. The biggest problem here is that Blizzard did not have any type of specific policy in place, and they themselves as a company spend a lot of time pushing political opinions, signing, joint condemnations of political figures, all sorts of things. This is things that Blizzard engages in actively. I have absolutely zero problem with a very specific clause in place that says you cannot say anything like anything divisive or, present any personal opinions outside of the game on the cast. This, I think, for a lot of people, it draws some complex feelings, because many people side with Blitzchung and side with Hong Kong. So the message was basically universally accepted. But my core principles around this channel have always been that I don't want this in video games. So had Blizzard had a clear policy in place and acted evenly as they said they would but didn't do, this would still have been news, but it would have had to be something that you still have to kind of begrudgingly condemn. Had Blitzchung done this on his own channel or his own Twitter feed and Blizzard punished him for it, that would be a big problem. But he said it on their official stream, which makes it complex. Now, what he said, I support. Blizzard banning him, I don't. But to be clear, I would have and still do support a sweeping statement that new players have to live under when on official streams, that you can't say anything like this, because what you end up with in the end is people endlessly using this platform to spout personal opinions about things, and you're going to end up with a mess. You're going to end up with somebody saying something really bad. You're going to end up with something that a lot of people don't agree with. And now this is something that happened on the Blizzard official channel. So to be clear, Blizzard should not have banned him because they did not have a clear policy in place before, and because they don't enact the exact same policies on other people doing the same thing. For example, the American university students. I do support a rule forbidding this on professional streams. I don't support any action they've taken up until this point, because it has never been specifically forbade, and it's been something that Blizzard has continued to do on their own time anyway. Does that make sense? I don't support the bannings, but what these kids did is awesome. I mean, truly baller. But Blizzard themselves has been awful. The fact that they lied to our faces about why they did what they did when we can so obviously see the fact that they released the statement from what looks like China is not a good look. There are many, many things that Blizzard did very wrong here. But at its core, I still believe that in video games, when you're on a company's stream, you might be a hero for doing it, but you should still do so at your own peril, because at the end of the day, these streams are about the game itself, and it can swirl and spiral into this thing where people want to win just to express, somebody's going to go up there and go Trump 2020, or somebody's going to go up there, and that is not what I want in my video games. So I support a rule surrounding it, but I do not support what Blizzard did and their subsequent actions after. Does that make sense? I hope so. Blizzard, we have some interesting situations going on. We've seen a lot of people looking at organizing, showing up at BlizzCon. So we have May statues. I want to put this out. When I was live streaming, there was a $175 May statue on the Blizzard website for pre-order. If you didn't know, May has become co-opted by pro-Hong Kong people as a symbol of freedom, democracy. And inexplicably, it disappeared from the Blizzard website live while we were streaming. Actually, that might be in the original live stream, or I've put up the entire 4-hour live stream on my Midwestly channel. But that was odd. Now, it's been removed, but not all May merchandise has been removed. So maybe they were worried about people modding the statue and using it, but that seems awfully odd. The timing in and of itself is really odd, though. We see internet freedom. Now, this is from an organization called fightforthefuture.org. They are now organizing umbrella protests at BlizzCon. And see, this banning has put Blizzard in this position where they appear to some as anti-Hong Kong democracy. This is what happens when you don't have a policy in place ahead of time. And then you knee-jerk reaction and you lie to your customers. For immediate release, Gamers for Freedom website features scorecard showing which game companies have pledged to stand for free speech. Digital rights group Fight for Future, known for organizing massive protests against SOPA, net neutrality, and against government surveillance, is teaming up with gamers, Redditors, and internet freedom activists to call for protest at Activision Blizzard's annual conference, which starts November 1st in Anaheim, California, and attracts tens of thousands of gamers, something like 40,000. Now, I myself talked about showing up in a Winnie the Pooh cosplay, but many people, which prevented me from buying the ticket, because many of you said, don't give them the money. And I think that's ultimately, it's hard, because like, you go there, you show up as Winnie the Pooh, you get kicked out. That's terrible optics for Blizzard, and it feels like it would be worth it. You get on camera or something like that. It seems like it would be worthwhile to spread the message. It feels gross giving them the money, though. However, you could show up at BlizzCon and protest in front of it. But if I'm spending $3,000 to fly to California and stay in a hotel for 3 or 4 days, I'm going in. So I think I put that on hold now. But maybe in the comment section down below, you'll tell me otherwise. I was going to do it. Cleared it with the wife. She just said, don't get arrested, which I would try to, of course, not be. The protest is part of GamersForFreedom.com campaign. The Fight for the Future unveiled yesterday, which features a scorecard. Oh, I hit that. This is not going away, said Evan Greer, Deputy Director of Fight for the Future. Pronouns she, her. Ugh. Blizzard and other companies who are engaging in censorship on behalf of the authoritarian government are not going to get away with it. They have no idea what kind of internet poo storm they've unleashed. We're going to make an example out of them to make sure that all companies know that discarding human rights and free expression, tossing it under the bus to make some extra money will not be tolerated. Now, I 100% support this. And God, I hope you understood my explanation in the beginning because it's convoluted. I, in spirit, support keeping this stuff off official streams, but I support people's right to free speech otherwise on their own platforms. If Blizzard or Hearthstone were ever seen punishing these players for doing this stuff off stream, it would be an all-out battle. Basically already is anyway. Like many other tech companies and the gaming worlds, we were extremely disappointed to learn that Blizzard banned a professional gamer and confiscated his tournament winnings because he advocated for his own political freedom. But we're encouraged to see the immediate widespread public backlash, and some game companies such as Epic and Immutable have made public pledges never to punish their players for speaking about politics or human rights. We'll see about that. We'll see when somebody on official Hearthstone or Fortnite stream actually does it. You've got to put this to the test, people. Dayton Young, product director for Flight for the Future. Pronouns. Ugh. Gamers deserve... Why is that even relevant? Ah, God, this is what happens when you put politics in video games. Gamers deserve to know which companies are willing to engage in censorship on behalf of authoritarian regimes, which companies will defend basic freedoms of expression. Blizzard has engaged in blatant censorship and should immediately reverse his decision to Blitzchung to restore his... And I agree. I agree. Now, if they had, as I said, if they would have had a policy in place, I would have supported that policy. But they didn't. And now there's RSVPs, there's Discords getting set up. And look at these companies. Gamers for Freedom. This is awesome, by the way, an awesome list. We have a list of companies. Bandai Namco might. Bethesda might. Blizzard might. Bungie might. CD Projekt Red might. Again, this free speech, though, always gets put to the test when you say something unpopular, right? Epic, Immutable, both won't, and this is basically everybody that has not spoken out, basically says might. Although Blizzard should say will, don't you think? Because we know they will. They've already done it. BlizzCon 2019 will be held at Anaheim Convention Center next month with gamers and journos attending from around the world. Blizzard will be the perfect opportunity for us to show Blizzard just how important our freedom is. Bring an umbrella, the symbol of freedom in Hong Kong, and join us at noon on November 1st for an epic day of protest with hundreds of others gamers who care. By the way, I publicly support this, a demonstration that is within the law, and that if they don't get unruly, like, I will financially help support this. So the people who are with Gamers for Freedom, I will help buy, I don't know, Gatorade or juice for people or whatever to make it easier on them because it's going to be hot. Reach out to me, but I don't support, you know, throwing hands, damaging any property, anything like that. If any of that happens, I'm out. I don't support that. But I do support a sea of people holding umbrellas or dressed up in May cosplays, and that would be amazing. They have links to deleting your account. They have links to joining their Discord. They have all sorts of games that are good other examples. You have Hearthstone here, but you don't list Magic the Gathering? Come on, dogs. You've got people, all their statements. This is a great website. And I'm told that they're trying to get some cosplayers out there. Reach out to me. Reach out to me, Gamers for Freedom. And then you see a subreddit growing here with 3,000 members. You've got an official GoFundMe. Oh, here we go. Let's take a look at this. This is for everyone who plans to attend and protest at BlizzCon. This is a huge mistake. This is a absolutely gigantic mistake, and they just totally shot themselves in the foot. $3,000 goal. I think we can fund that. I think we could fund that. What do they need? $28.80. right? No, I'm not tipping you GoFundMe. You're a political website that only... Oh, no, that's Kickstarter. Oh, you are sneaky. I'll give you something, though. Okay. Oh, shoot. Credit card. Okay. I'll post a picture of this. I'll figure this out. Kotaku's covering it. This is very interesting stuff. I don't know. Blizzard has put themselves in a terrible situation. They have, instead of acting correctly, again, here's what they should have done. I'm sorry, they would have went and talked to Chinaman, Mr. Chinaman or Mrs. Chinawoman, whoever they are, and said, look, we've got to undo this because it's just going to get worse for us. But we promise to put in a policy that will further protect you from any embarrassments. And that policy would have been no politics on the gaming stream, or you're just banned for life. Now, some absolute mad lads probably still would have done it, but at least you could say, look, we have a policy in place, and people couldn't have been mad about the ban. And the internet would rise up to support that person. It's going to be interesting to see BlizzCon. I can't wait. I hope that the flames of this continue to be stoked between now and BlizzCon. I hope that you're continuing to share coverage of these videos. I hope that you're continuing to like, comment, retweet videos, not just from me, but from everybody covering this, because Blizzard has lied to our faces. They have exposed their hypocrisy, and they need to be told exactly that. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.